Welcome to Over Coffee and Tea with your host, Malu, Laksamana Pascual. Good day, everyone. Today we're very honored to have with us on our show Over Coffee and Tea, our public servant and our local chief executive. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mayor Benjie Magalong. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Malu. Good morning to our televiewers. And thank you for having me today.
Let me congratulate you for garnering 3 major first places. Medyo redundant na, major first pa. And we're very proud. Ang isa dito ay yung COVID response natin, no? How are you able to do all this, Mayor?
Well, alam mo, Malu, we have a really good team behind me. Insofar as technology is concerned, I have a re-engineered and very passionate team of IT personnel working behind us.
Yes.
And unlike sometime in 2019 when we became mayor, ang trabaho lang dati nila rito is yung mag-reformat ng computer o kaya magkabit ng printer sa isang laptop, sa isang desktop, o kaya mag-repair lang ng mga computers namin. But this time, they are now creating systems, developing systems. At they came up with several innovations. And, you just have to inspire them, and then they all do the work. So, there are actually 5 categories, and each category has a classification, provincial, city, and municipal. Of the 5 categories, 3 lang yung sinalihan namin. Considering na doon lang talaga kami nagkaroon ng talagang mga projects na implementable projects. And we were really surprised na out of the 3, nakuha namin yung first place ng 3. So, it was a victory for the city of Baguio and a victory for all the people who really work hard to be able to get those awards.
Yes.
And just to as another testimony, we just also got word that we're also an awardee sa World Health Organization on Healthy Cities. So that award will be conferred to us tomorrow also.
Congratulations.
So, tuloy-tuloy yung mga awards na for some reason blessing dito sa siyudad ng Baguio.
Congratulations, Mayor, and of course sa mga mamamayan ng Baguio for having you, of course, as our leader. Sabi nga, public servant ang tawag sa inyo. Tsaka ito nga nakikita natin sa table mo. Now, aside from this, who is Benjie Magalong outside of politics? Ano po kayo dati?
Yeah.
Where were you then?
Okay. By the way, yung word na public servant, I adopted that when I was a major, when I was still with the Special Action Force sometime in 1987. So, nagbabasa ako ng libro. And, one of the books that I read is about about public service. So, it prompted me to come up with a business card na pangalan ko lang din, public servant, without mentioning my position or my rank. So ganun na yung ginagawa ko lagi noon since 1987. But anyway, I came from the Philippine National Police, and then I retired last December 15, 2016. After retirement, 3 months after, I was invited to join a company. It's actually the biggest steel company in the Philippines. So the Steel Asia.
Yes,
Initially, I was the head of the strategic expansion. Then 8 months after, I was appointed as Senior Vice President for Operations of that company. So, napunti siguro ako ng mga 1 year, 9 months with that company until I decided to enter politics. But when I was with Still Asia, in-appoint din ako ng presidente na member of the motherboard of the Philippine National Oil Company. And then meron din another company took me in as their independent director, ito yung Infradev, which is who won the bid, which won the bid for the subway, yung subway ng Makati. So I had a good life sa corporate
Yes.
sector.
Iniwan niyo po itong mga ito just to, get into
Yeah,
the...
for some reason, a group of people was able to convince me to join politics. So nandito ako ngayon,
Yes.
dealing with all the stresses of being a mayor of the city of Baguio.
Yeah, it was
Napakahirap
about-
pala.
Okay, go
Napakahirap pala.
Pakahirap pala. So
Yeah.
ano po yung mga ituturing niyo? What would you consider your biggest challenges? At paano po ninyo ito hinaharap?
Well, the challenge is, this pandemic is a big challenge. Managing it
Yeah.
with limited resources is a challenge. You have, especially when you have to deal with, the daily death and the number of cases. You have to be creative, you have to be innovative, and you have to be proactive as well. And you have to use technology to address several certain issues, especially when it comes to analytics. Kailangan gamitan mo ng technology. And, and at the same time, building great teams rather, to help you manage. Hindi na pwedeng i-micromanage mo. Dapat you have to be strategic about it. And just provide guidance, inspire people, motivate people, keep on, just simply keeping them always on the move. It requires a lot of leadership to do that also. So yan, it's a challenge yan. Another challenge is, the word politics itself is a challenge. And the concept about politics is a challenge. Especially that we are practicing good governance. Because that's the only way we'll be able to address the ills of society and ills of governance, is to really implement genuine good governance coupled with authentic leadership. Kaya yun na ngayon, napakahirap i-reconcile yung politics at good governance.
That is the reason why we've been hearing a lot of people saying that our mayor is not a traditional politician.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oo nga, mahirap talagang, I cannot see myself being traditional. Because I grew up in a environment na talagang result-oriented ka. And then you don't have to play with people. You have to be genuine. You have to be authentic with people. There's no lies, no tricks, no deception. Unlike in politics that you have to employ all of this just to make yourself popular. So, hindi ko ma-reconcile mahirapan ako. That's why our battle cry now is governance beyond politics. When I was a cadet sa PMA, ang motto ko is patience and determinations are key to success. And then when I became I joined the Philippine National Police in uniform service, yung motto ko naman yung battle cry ko is humility over authority. And now that I am with government, back to government as local chief executive, I adopted yung battle cry na governance beyond politics.
Okay. All right. I think everybody knows that you are a crisis manager. Do you have any formula in dealing with all the messes in the city, like, yung nangyari sa Beneco, and then eto na namang rally dito sa SLU. I think you're being called, your attention is always being called. And not only that, itong pandemic.
Yeah.
So do you have a formula in dealing with all of this?
It helps to have extensive training and at the same time experience on crisis management. I'm lucky just that I was able to take this in the United States
Yes.
both in Washington, D.C. and then another training at the FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, National Academy. Malaking tulong. It's part of the capacity building. So with that background, ang laki ng tulong sa akin. I never expected, I never expected that I'll be able to use my knowledge and skill on crisis management, especially during this pandemic. What is important is you have a plan of action, and at the same time, you have to organize and make sure that you attract the right talent. So attracting the right talent, then coming up your own concept of management, and then finally, you need resources. You have to manage resources and make sure that when you start managing resources, kailangan maging transparent ka. You have to emphasize on accountability as well. So these are the things that I always bear in mind every time I manage crises. And then another is make sure you also have to raise capital, especially this type of pandemic or raise resources. So you have to use your own networks.
So hindi kayo nagdidepend lagi
connections.
dito sa ating mga funds dito sa city.
Yes, you cannot. You cannot. Looking at the number of, let us say, for example, yung RT-PCR test at the cost of 2,800, we have about, ilan na ba yung RT-PCR test natin? About 270,000. 270,000 tests na nagawa natin. I think about 280,000 na ngayon. And if you translate that to something monetary, that translates to about 800 million pesos. And if you look at our daily number of tests that we did during the time na tinamaan tayo ng Delta variant, at around 900 tests a day, and we even went up to about 1,200 a day. When you translate that again into funds, that's about 2-point-something million a day.
Oh.
Pero kung babayaran natin yan and we charge it to our local funds, mauubos tayo.
Oo naman.
And ang pondo lang natin, ang budget lang natin is 2.2 billion. At syempre, covered pa dyan yung malaking porsyento pa niyan, about 45% covers yung ating tinatawag na personal services. So, konti na lang. Kung itong mga resources na ito gagastusan natin, mahirap. So, mabuti na lang at siguro swerte rin at napunta ako sa NTEA. So, I was able also to use my position to get a lot of help, both from our RT-PCR test kits, different types of test kits, yung PPEs natin, and of course yung vaccines. But please bear in mind also not every time I get this kind of resources, I just don't give it exclusively for the city of Baguio. I share it. We share it. Ang ginagawa ko lang, pag nakuha ko, bibigay ko sa DOH. I don't even dictate on DOH. DOH can, our witness. Our DOH doctors are witness to how I manage our resources. Na pag may nakuha ko, I give it to them. I don't even dictate. Ito para sa Baguio kasi kami naman lumakad dito. No? I give it to them. Bahala sila mag-distribute. Ilan ang bibigay sa Baguio, tatanggapin namin. And that's the way we do it. And also, another is you have to manage your cost. Kasi limited lang yung resources, so you have to manage your cost. Make sure na meron ka laging reserve, meron ka laging pondo na nakatabi pa. It's a principle of reserve. Mahirap yung uubusin mo lahat. Later on, mauubos ka, wala. And just to let you know, wala tayong utang. Despite the fact that tinamaan tayo nitong COVID-19, while other local government units talagang naubusan sila, tayo wala tayong utang.
We're glad to know that we have this pediatric sector who can now avail of the vaccines.
Yes.
How is it going, Mayor?
Well, we have a good number yesterday. Actually, we started the vaccination of minors we started it last Friday. And then pero ito lang yung comorbidity, tinetest lang natin. That's the reason why yung venue natin sa hospitals, we studied the reaction of the kids. Okay naman, walang serious adverse reaction. Then the following day, we started doing it for minors without comorbidities. And then yesterday was a big turnout. In fact, we vaccinated around 3,200 plus minors yesterday. And we're still looking at about siguro mga 15,000 pa na minors. And mataas din yung turnout natin among adults, especially for the second dose, 5,003. So as of today, ang 69% na tayo in terms of the second dose. 69%. And for the first dose, it's 88% na tayo for the eligible population. So we're really high. We're really high compared to the other local government. In fact, 3 weeks ago, nung nag-briefing nga si Secretary Vince about the status of the vaccination in the entire country, Baguio is considered as one of those local government units na mataas ang vaccination rate. In terms of acceptability, mataas din tayo rito. Pero meron pa rin yung mga tao na talagang for some reason, talagang hindi pa rin naniniwala sa vaccine.
O baka hindi naniniwala sa COVID.
Yeah, yun din. Hindi naniniwala sa COVID. And at the same time, meron din tayong mga politiko na for some reason, they continue to influence other people not to get themselves vaccinated. So, hindi rin sila nakakatulong. Sometimes, sinasabihan ko na lang na they better shut up. Kung meron silang mga ganun na mga pananaw.
Sinasabi niyo yun sa kanila?
Yeah, tumahimik na lang sila. Shut up. Sabi ko lang, you better shut up. Because you're not helping at all. In fact, every time they influence other people, they're actually endangering the lives of other people. So, nakakalungkot lang.
Correct. Ito pa, Mayor, peace and order in Baguio City has really improved. And we give credence or credibility to your effort in putting up the command center. Paano, how does this work? Para lang mabigyan natin ng idea ang mga tao. May connection po ito sa pagbaba ng crime rate.
Well, alam mo, Malu, yung pagbaba ng crime rate can also be attributed to this pandemic. Mas kukunting taong lumalabas.
Correct.
Most of the time, nasa bahay lang sila. So, it has also an impact on the crime dynamics. Malaking bagay yan. Wala pa yung maski na wala pa yung ating Smart City Command Center, talagang significant na yung pagbaba ng ating crime. In fact, comparing it to 2019-2020, ang pagbaba ng cases is around 65% na. 65% ng pagbaba nun. And then, comparing it to 2020 to 2021, halos nagbubaba ulit ng almost mga 38%. Ang laki ng binaba talaga. This is unprecedented, but you can attribute it to this pandemic. Now, the smart city system that we just inaugurated is the first of its kind in the city with a single platform. The technology is Cisco, and it's not only for public safety or security. It's a very comprehensive system that allows government to be able to enhance management and governance. Tulad yan, it has several components. Meron dyan yung smart public safety, smart security, smart governance, smart economy, smart agriculture, smart environment, smart mobility and transportation, smart lighting, smart traffic, smart people. So, it's an amazing technology, and we're proud that we were able to put it up. Kaya maraming pupunta rito, senators, secretaries, even mayors.
Para lang makita.
They're amazed na even the head of the executive director ng 911, si General Barreroso, when we went live about 2 weeks ago, talagang na-amaze siya. Sabi niya, alam mo, akala ko ang makikita ko lang dito is just an ordinary na command center, and I was really amazed na talagang
Maganda nga.
It's it's something that should serve as a benchmark ng other. Kaya sasabihin niya mismo si Secretary Anyo at yung ibang mayors na go up to the city of Baguio, and you have to look at this, ito yung magiging standard na dapat. But nonetheless, why did we come up with this? Alam mo kasi, when I assume as mayor, the first thing that I ask every time I think about strategic projects, strategic programs is, do we have data on this? Do we have data on this? It's so difficult to come up with concepts, strategic programs, strategic projects if you don't have data, especially real-time data. Napakahirap eh. Health systems, social systems, even technical data that you need for how to proceed with your urban forestry management master plan. O kaya yung transportation master plan. Ang hirap eh, walang data. And this system allows you to collect, acquire data, and finally manage big data. It allows you to come up with different types of analytics so that you'll be able to come up with more effective, more responsive plans and programs, especially more. This should be very strategic. Kaya malaking tulong nito, napakalaking tulong nito sa amin. And that is precisely what smart city system is all about. You have the capability to improve the quality of life because you'll be able to come up with better, more efficient plans and programs based on data. You need data to identify problems. You need data to analyze problems and data to solve problems. Actually, it's one of the most expensive commodity now.
Yes.
Data is the most expensive.
So, how much money was poured into this system?
Well, that cost 200 billion. And then
Nothing from the city government.
No, nahingi ko yan kay Presidente mismo. I remember when I was about to become, I assume as mayor, nanalo na ako noon eh, when we met. And siguro mga 1 month before I took my oath, nag-usap kami sa manor. Sabi niya sa akin, Benjie, bibigyan kita ng pondo para sa 911 mo. And then, after 4 months, I remember na pinatawag niya ako tungkol doon sa controversial dito sa sa drugs. Involvement ng isang general sa drugs. So, 4 lang kami nag-usap. Tapos, napatapos namin nag-usap, pinag-explain niya ako yung findings ko, yung mga ebidensya. Naniwala naman siya sa akin. And then, bago siya umalis, sabi niya, wala ka bang problema? Sabi ko, remember sir, yung binanggit yung 911 sa akin. Okay lang ba sir na elevate na natin, gawin na nating smart city system? Sabi niya, magkano abutin? 200 million sir. Sabi niya, napakamahal pala. After 3 weeks, dumating na si Secretary Bongo. Sabi niya, Mayor, ito na yung 200,000, 200 million mo for the smart city. So, he made sure that we got the best technology available, and that's Cisco. So, we have one of the best technology now for the smart city system.
So this is the first of its kind in
It's the first
whole
of its
country.
kind. It's the first of its kind. So, we're the first mover tayo. There's a first mover, and only very few countries in Asia were able to come up with a really good platform, smart city platform. And we are one of those now. And the good thing is, if other countries, especially Western countries, third world countries, nakaalam sila na merong isang city na third world country that's coming up with this smart city system, tutulong. They will provide grant. For example, Australia, when Australian government learned that we're putting up a smart city system, immediately they got in touch with ADB, and they gave us a 660,000 grant, US dollar grant, for our flood mitigation warning and information system. So, nilalagay na ngayon. Tapos na yung feasibility, inayos na, na-survey na sila. So, sila maglalagay na ng mga sensors at coconut cloud. Tapos meron din tayong ongoing na study ng seismic stratigraphy para pag-aralan yung how our ground dito sa Baguio moves during earthquakes. Yan din. Nalagay din natin yan sa system natin. Kung may magdodonate sa atin ng agriculture system to help us manage agriculture, pwede rin natin ikabit yan. So, it's a platform, basically platform wherein different types of systems can be integrated.
Are there still projects, Mayor, projects that you have in mind, projects that you've already initiated that were somehow disrupted because of this pandemic?
Yeah, marami tayong strategic projects, but disrupted probably is, I would say, not the appropriate word with all due respect, but probably we were just slowed down. Medyo na-obstruct lang tayo ng konti, but tuloy-tuloy naman tayo. We're coming up with a lot of catalytic plans When you say catalytic, these are projects that really, alam mo yung catalyst, you know,
Yes.
it hastens reaction. In the same manner na we have catalytic plants na it will hasten recovery. So these are all very strategic projects. For example, yung smart city, smart mobility and transportation system. The same company that crafted yung master plan ng Singapore on smart mobility.
Oh, wow.
ST Engineering, which is one of the biggest, actually the biggest company in Singapore, majority owned by the Singaporean government, came here last month. They stayed here for 2 months, helping us formulate our master development plan, yung si smart mobility natin. Napansin mo, pag pumunta ka sa Singapore, pag pupunta ka sa isang loading bay, may mga information board kung ano mga sasakyan na darating. Pag dumadaan yung mga ambulansya o mga fire trucks, lahat ng intersections, lahat ng may traffic lights, bigla mag-green. Yung contactless payment, tapos yung pag-manage ng traffic, puro systems na yan, intelligent cameras, intelligent systems. Hindi mo na kailangan nagsiswitch ng tao pa, nagsiswitch. The system itself resolves yung mga issues na yan. That's precisely what's going to happen in the city of Baguio. It's a big project. And that company also will undertake it in the city of Baguio, and we're going to partner with a very reputable company. It will be a private-public partnership. We're also building the second intermodal transport terminal, and the company that's going to build that is the same company that built yung international airport sa Clark at sa Cebu City. So we're going to issue the OPS most probably next week. And then we have the market development. Alam mo yung market development, dati-dati ang offer sa atin ng SM was 18% for the market and 82% for their mall, so that they'll be able to recover their investment. But in one of our meetings with SM during our negotiation, in front of the other representatives from the other sectors and members of the committee, sinabi ko sa SM management is that, your reputation in Baguio is tarnished because of that first issue sa mall, sa cutting of trees. Now, sabi ko sa inyo, you mentioned to us before when we invited you to participate that you're so big now and that, you would like to give back to the community. So why don't you do it in the city of Baguio? Give it back to the community of the city of Baguio. Make it as a legacy project. So bumalik yung team na yun, yung management team nila sa Manila, they talk to the family. And then finally, after heated discussions, talagang argument, the family decided na, okay, sige, we'll make it as a legacy project. We'll make it 30-70. It's not, before it's 18-82. 18% for the market and 82% for the mall. This time is 70-30. 70% for the market.
Oh, wow.
70% for the market. It's not 30% for the market, 70% for the
For
market.
the market.
30%. Yeah, yan ang panila ngayon.
So how did our people from the market
Well,
react?
there's a big group now that's advocating for the market development. I met with them 2 weeks ago. Yung nag-iingay lang naman dyan, yung involved sa corruption. Yung mga tao dyan na may hawak ng maraming stalls na nagbabayad sa gobyerno ng, let us say, 300 pesos per stall, tapos paparenta nila ng 5,000, 6,000. Ilan sa kanila dyan, mayroong ganyan dyan. So nakakalungkot na ito yung mga tao na dahil may pera sila yung nag-iingay. Pero my intention there is to protect the interests of those vendors, merchants that are presently occupying the stores. And it's all about transparency. Marami rin kalukuhan dyan nangyayari sa collection. So i-erase natin yan. Pati environment. Isa yan sa napakaruming relatively nung inayos natin yan in 2019, nakita nyo naman siguro yung itsura ng market na yan. Hindi ka makadaan, walang kalsada, wala kasi nagdala, gulo. Pero inayos natin, we brought in order, pero we can only do so much kasi ganyan na itsura eh. And one thing is, nakita mo yung sewerage system dyan, napakarumi yan. It adds to our polluted rivers. It's polluting our rivers significantly. That's why two of our rivers are considered most polluted in the country. Because of that. So we need to, we need to address all of this, resolve all of these issues. Kaya talagang agresibo naman kami.
Done deal na ba to, Mayor? Yung
Hindi pa,
sa market?
hindi pa, because we're still working on the negotiation pa lang. Negotiation, and then the writing of matapos, issuance of the original proponent status, then after that, term of reference, writing of the term of reference, then Swiss challenge. Any other company can also participate in the Swiss challenge. Pero sino ang company na mag-release ng 3070? Nobody can do that. I don't think nobody can do that, because with the 3070, it will take you years or decades to recoup your investment. So it's about giving back to the people of Baguio.
It's true. Correct.
So marami pa kami. The sewerage system is a $60 million grant, a loan, soft loan from the ADB. And the Asian Development Bank will just not simply release money to any local government if that's not sense good governance. Siyempre, meron rin silang due diligence. That's why it took us, sandali lang namin napa-approve yan eh. In principle, approve yan eh. So, ongoing yung talks namin, siguro naka 50 talks, 50 meetings na kami dyan tungkol dyan. Sana mabayos na natin so that we will be able to clean our rivers.
Is there a timetable for all of this to be, materialized, or
Next year would be a big, we're looking at next year as a, ano bang tawag nito? Tawag nito is a sort of a series of groundbreaking activities doon sa mga strategic projects natin dito. Pati yung rail system, monorail dito. We also have one of the biggest companies in the world, submitted its proposal for the railway system dito. Initially, it's a 4.4 kilometer na railway system. So, ang dami mangyayari dito. Pati yung walkable project program natin, we call it the Green Walks. Kaya inaayos namin yung mga sidewalks natin. We're making wider sidewalks, better sidewalks. Nagkakaroon lang kami ng problema dyan sa mga ibang contractor dahil kumisan substandard, kaya umiinit ang ulo namin pag substandard. But we're doing our best na talagang yung quality talaga should be the best quality ng mga projects dito. Yun ang good governance. Speed up government services, make it efficient, creating more leaders, developing more leaders, and at the same time, transparency in the utilization of resources. So that's what good governance is all about.
Mayor, prior to your filing of your certificate of candidacy, there were assumptions that you are being offered a national position. Is this correct? Is this true?
Yeah, merong mga lumapit na sa akin, well-known personalities who approach me if they can join their senatorial slate. Or offering me certain positions sa national government, parang gano'n. Or to run for national position. Right, and Malu, I know my limitations din eh. I know my limitations. And besides, marami pa tayong ayusin dito sa Baguio. Marami pa tayong tutuloy. 3 years is not enough. 3 years is not enough. We want to improve the quality of life of the people of Baguio, create a better Baguio, create a better green, clean Baguio, and promote good governance. And that's why we're transforming. We hired a third party, one of the best transformation company, yung ISA Institute for Solidarity of Asia, which is transforming other government agencies now and other corporate entities. It's a well-known, reputable company. So we set aside funds para talagang to help us transform government and promote a environment where there is no corruption. Yan ang importante rito. And at the same time, improve further yung services namin, because there are always ways of doing things better. So yun lagi ang tinitingnan namin. We have to always do things better. Hindi pwedeng naka-stagnate lang tayo, hindi tayo pwedeng umupo lang. And promote creativity as well. Alam mo nga, promote creativity. Not only because we are a creative city, but because, alam mo, sabi nga nila creativity, yung latest study ng World Economic Forum, yung ibang mga think tanks, organizations, pati research groups, they say na creativity is actually the third most important skill nowadays, especially among leaders who are now shaping the future of government and business. Creativity. So it's something that we need also to promote here. Creativity. Develop more leaders with that creative mentality, mindset. So kailangan talagang baguhin It's about changing the mindset of people.
Correct. Mayor, can you please tell us about your family?
Well, I'm married to, your good friend, Geraldine, who is also a nurse. And then I have 3 kids. I have, my eldest is si Tintin, Christina. She's a lawyer. And she's also married to another lawyer. Meron akong 2 grandson sa kanya. Tapos my daughter is a nurse. My second is a nurse. And she worked in the US pero nakauwi na siya ngayon. She's now married to her husband is a British national, a professor sa physics in the international school. Then my third is a businessman. She's staying in Pangasinan. And he manages our holding business and at the same time meron siyang egg business and rice business din. So, meron akong 4, meron akong yung 2 latest na grandkids ko, both are girls. So meron akong 5-month-old and then another 11-month-old.
Okay. Now, Mayor, before we finally wind up, do you have a message to the people of Baguio? Is there something that you'd want to say or tell them?
Okay, thank you very much, Malu, for that opportunity. First of all, I would like to remind our residents and the people of Baguio, please get yourself vaccinated. This Delta variant is the disease of the unvaccinated. So please make sure that everyone in the family, including members of the households, are fully vaccinated. Second is for the other residents in our adjacent municipalities in the list. And for that matter, from people of Benguet, all you have to do is come up to the city of Baguio if you want yourself to be vaccinated. Dahil lagi naman tayo, isang community lang tayo dito, sama-sama tayo lagi. Nagpapalitan ho tayo ng biyahe, we travel from Baguio to Benguet and back. We might as well work as one and heal as one, so help each other get vaccinated. So all you have to do is come to the city of Baguio, and without any question, we'll get you vaccinated. And also bring your kids, yung mga 12 to 17, we're going to vaccinate all of them. We have enough vaccines, we have more than enough vaccines, and we're willing to help everyone. Even people from other places, we're even willing to help them get themselves vaccinated, including their members of their family and households.
Thank you so much, Mayor. Thank you for your time. And hanggang sa susunod ulit na interview. And mga kaibigan, maraming salamat po sa inyong panunood, sa inyong pakikinig. This has been your host, Malu Laksamana Pascual, from the City Mayor's Office with our guest, Mayor Benjie Magalong.
Thank you, Malu. Maraming salamat.
Thank you so much.